I am one of the co-founders and chief operating officer for the Stafford Boxing Club Incorporated, our nonprofit organization, which is a yearly mentoring program for at-risk youth in the community.
So we will be able to teach financial literacy, communication, discipline, decision-making, as well as campaigning for a premium education.
These are the foundation for the Stafford Boxing Club, these 20 mentees in our program here at Panola Way Elementary School. 20 years from now, Stafford Boxing mentees will be known across the world.
Wait a minute. I've been waiting a whole year
Okay.
to get on your platform.
Okay.
What's going on, everybody?
Man,
Happy
man.
New Year.
Man, Happy New Year, baby. You looking good, boy. No cappuccino, boy, for real,
Thank
boy,
you,
for
thank
real.
you, thank you.
For real,
Happy
boy.
2024.
Put that in there, yeah, respectfully, you know what I'm
Wait a
saying?
minute.
Yeah.
2024.
Yeah, respectfully. Oh,
2024.
Yeah, believe that. You see what it is. What's going on, babe? How you been doing?
I'm good. I'm excited that we're starting off strong with the Stafford Show, as well as with Talk and Fight. Shout out to everybody. Eric, Mike, Graham,
Familia.
Cedric, just everybody.
That's La Familia, for real though. For real,
Facts.
man. Well, baby, you know what, man? We completed another year. Now we into a new year. So much that we want to talk about today. I'm gonna go ahead and let you. Oh, hold up, baby. I'm tripping, man. Man, you gotta introduce yourself, man.
I know.
Man, I'm so
that's why I
excited
was
to get
waiting.
the show, man.
That's why I wasn't going to interrupt you. I'm going to try not to do that in 2024, not unless it's absolutely necessary. But I'm Lady Stafford, Sheila Stafford. I'm your campaign manager / precinct chair / co-founder of the Stafford Boxing Club mentoring program. We have a lot going on. So who is you? Who you is? What you got going on in 24?
Man, look at here, man. My name's Stafford, man, for Quan Stafford, but you can call me Big Stafford. And I'm co-host of the Stafford Show, and I'm co-founder of the Stafford Boxing Club mentoring program. And I'm also a Republican candidate for Georgia State Senate District 43. Yeah, and I'm district chair for the DeKalb GOP. So, yeah, we pushing P for premium, P for pressure, and
progress.
Man, I'm just, oh man, baby, progress. Yeah, and you know what, baby, I was gonna tell you though, for real. Like, man, I love you so much, man, and I'm just excited about what we doing, and I just see how like the Stafford Show, how it has evolved into what we're doing right now, and it's like me and you are like just, I don't know, man. I'm so excited about what we got going on and what God will continue to do in our lives. But first, I want to start off by saying thank you for Talking Fight for just, giving us this platform. And they do an amazing job pushing out premium content. Every time the Stafford Show is on air, man, it's always Pete. Everybody always say, man, every time I look at y'all show, man, it be so clear, man. It just like
crisp and clear.
Man, I'm talking about, man, shout out to them boys, man, from Talking
so
Fight.
Fresh
Eric,
and so
man.
clean.
For real.
We ready.
Yeah, we ready.
We ready.
Yeah, we ready.
For y'all. 2024 is going to be really something. I do believe that it is going to be about prosperity. Prosperity.
Already. Well, look, baby, it's a lot going on. So where you want to start off?
Wait, hold on 1 second. Just wait one moment. You know what I'm
Solid
about
to
to start
crazy.
doing? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Everybody has to see this part. Hold on a second. Wait a
Okay.
minute. Wait a minute.
Okay. Okay. Man.
I am sorry that you just have an unnatural allegiance to losers. That is so not of you. Shout
Wow.
out to Club Shay Shay, Uncle Shannon Sharp, and Cat Williams, who put
For
us
real.
all up on some game. And guess what he did? He told the truth and nothing but the truth, because it's God's side and then it's the other side. But see, we don't care about the other side, period. Period.
At all. So baby, speaking of Cat Williams and the show on Club Shay Shay, and shout out to Uncle Shannon Sharp,
And
man, you
Ocho,
doing it. And
even though he
Ocho,
wasn't
yes,
part of that, but they do
yeah,
have their little
Ocho,
thing
yeah, for
going on. So
real.
we want to say a
Shout out
shout
to
out to them
Ocho.
too.
Shout out to Ocho, no cappuccino, yeah. And also that boy Gilbert Arenas, he part of the crew too.
Okay.
But I want to say that I am so proud to see a black man evolve in that space in the podcast realm. And like Unc said, he's not a journalist, he's a conversationalist. And so he had created an opportunity to allow Cat Williams to come on and have like this conversation. And baby, you told me it was what, 31 million views now? Up to
Yeah, it was
31?
31, but I'm sure it's more than that. I didn't check
That's
it, but
crazy. That's
hey,
crazy.
when it's your time, it's your time, it's your time. And I'm
For
happy for
sure.
Unc.
For sure.
And I'm
For
happy
sure.
for Cat Williams too, because with Cat Williams talking about what he talked about,
Hmm.
now it's like he's really brought the other comedians and comedy to the forefront.
He
Just
did.
off of that one interview, although he's been saying the same things, but added on to the interview that he had with Shannon, it just took comedy like on a whole nother level. I thought that I was gonna have some jokes today, but I'm just not really funny. I might have to get on that. I can be a comedy person and just come in there and be like, I'm really not even funny, and I don't know, we'll see.
I ain't gonna lie, baby. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, listening to that show, um, for me, I learned a lot. I
Me
learned a lot
too.
uh, about professionalism, being prepared for your opportunity. I really admired how Shannon Sharp just let Cat Williams just talk. He ain't really, interrupt. But it was funny because Unc was like, they took a drink and he was like, oh, I think I might need another one. You know what I'm saying?
Another
He took
one.
two, yeah, he took two shots, man. But I just like, I thought that was probably one of the most significant podcast shows that I have ever watched in my life.
Me too.
It brought awareness to a lot of things, and
Facts.
what it did was show a different side of Cat Williams. It was a side that
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen, and it also showed the versatility from Unc in terms of his ability to have these type of shows and how to engage with these guests
Mm-hmm.
and allow them to be comfortable. As Cat Williams
Mm-hmm.
stated, that Unc has created a platform where people feel comfortable to come on this show
Facts.
and just to kind of open up and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
um, it was a lot of things that, Cat Williams said that was true. And, man, I don't know, but baby, I mean, you tell me though, what's your outtake on it?
Um, well, I had listened to Kat's previous interviews.
Which
So
one?
some of the things that he was even discussing, I don't know, just little clips that I've just seen, or even if he had someone or if he was holding his camera, So but remember the first time, well, it was my first time, his comedy show. And I told you which one's my favorite.
Oh
He
yeah,
said,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you gotta have you a white friend. And I knew when he talked about certain things, I knew that was true. So nothing's really changed about Cat Williams. Maybe spiritually, of course, we're always growing with his profession that he's in. He's constantly growing. Personally, I'm sure that he's always growing. And like he said, he's always learning, he's always reading. So then once he does that, even on his comedy shows now, he's funny, but he's still he's educating us at the same time. So that's kind of like his niche. He has a niche because other comedians, I don't have not heard or seen that they do that. So people have always been drawn to him. He just has a gift. And the way how he tells it, whatever it is that he wants us to know, and then he's honest about it. He likes toxic women. He said he said, I'm not going to go to a strip club and just pay the strippers. If I have interest in you, I'm just going to say, you're not going to have to do this anymore.
For real. That's big player, big pimping. For real. No Captain Crunch now. I mean, just, hey, we just have a conversation, baby, so no disrespect.
Yeah, well, he was Money Mike.
For sure,
and they had a discussion about that. He gave Ice Cube his props when everybody else was over there complaining. But you know what I've really been hearing that I like is that whatever they're doing, whether they're in comedy, rap, entertaining, somebody else came out and said that Cat Williams gave them money.
Oh yeah,
when they really needed it.
Yeah, it was my boy Holcomb, right? Wasn't that his name?
Yeah, but it was this white guy too.
Oh really?
Yeah, and then of course we know Bootsy, but Bootsy, that's not Bootsy's first time ever telling that story anyway.
Nah. Cause Bootsy said that it when he talk about it, it almost brings tears to his eyes. And one of the things that I heard Cat Williams say, he was like how God would use a person like him to bless folks. You know what I mean? And when he said that, his best friend is Jesus, I was like, okay, I like what you got going on, Cat. I can really vibe with that. And so
facts.
I like the fact that Cat stood on business, bro. He stood on business, and he's going to forever be known for this particular podcast show. Like, this podcast show broke the internet. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, when I woke up the next morning, well, I think like 6 hours after I have watched the podcast show, I think it was up to like 8, 9, 10 million. I was like, golly, but it was so good. And I watched the whole thing all the way through. Normally, it take a long time. I mean, well, it's kind of like I can't really just watch no podcast show for no 2 hours and 40 minutes though. I can't do that.
Yeah.
But that part show was it was anointed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In my opinion, to the point that it had captivated my interest, that not only was I listening to it as a fan, but I was also listening to it as a student, that I can learn something from it. And so, man, it was one of the best podcast shows that I've seen. And I've seen a couple of them, besides the Stafford Show, that's probably, that's the, you know what I mean? That's probably the only show.
Hey, when we keep on doing what it is that we're doing,
for real,
hey, we're gonna be up there too. Everybody has a time. That's what I'm really starting to see now, because you used to say it all the time. I would say it all the time. It's not that I didn't believe it, but it's like, I guess sometimes when you keep living. But because I like Shannon Sharp, I might not like some of the things he says, but who cares? That's life. But when I saw that on his podcast, and then the story where he was on the show with, what's his name? He was on the with
Oh, Stephen A. Smith.
right, and then something was happening and he didn't know, and then Stephen A. Smith knew, and then he was working on some things. So now they are doing their thing together, and then he's doing his podcast. He got his cognac drink on site, and then he's been able to have conversations with so many people on his platform, giving them an opportunity, and then boom, here comes Cat Williams that he had been working on for a minute. And Cat said, look, I'm gonna put this on my schedule. I'll let you know when I get in town. And then right when 2024 comes, it was like right on time. So our time is coming too.
For sure. And you know what, baby, I love you so much, man. And you know, as we were together earlier today, and we was driving coming back from the state capitol, from lobbying our bill that we will be getting passed this Georgia General Assembly session for the Stafford Boxing Club mentoring program. I'm grateful that you gave me an opportunity, because you're a beautiful woman. You know, you have a lot
Thank
of
you.
qualities that any man will be able to progress and be happy. One of the things that I love about you is your loyalty and commitment. And so while we do have this platform, I think it's important to kind of share gold nuggets about our marriage. I mean, being married 15 years and never stepping outside my marriage, and always around my wife, and us working together and us doing things and building our platform together. There's a lot of things that we have learned on this journey that we definitely need to, share, because I was telling you earlier today, like when we be at the gym, and I be noticing how the guys will all come around us and sit down, and they be like, y'all just so on point, man, y'all got a good relationship, man. And every time we tell them, you know, the short period of time that it took us to get married, and then turn around and tell them how long that we've been married, it really piques their interest. And so I believe in my heart that, God is using our marriage, our journey to be a blessing, and also to help young men understand, the importance of being real to themselves, and be able to see the good things, the good qualities in the woman like you, so that they can try to, find a woman like that. Now, I don't know if they're gonna find another Sheila, you know, but at least they will have an opportunity to understand about qualities that you have, that they would look for in a woman before they, decide to go to that next level. So, I think it's very important to kind of share some of the, some of the things that we have been through, and some of the things that we have worked through in order for us to, be at this stage in life.
I think the number one important is God.
Mm,
Seriously. Like you have to seek him, and you have to cultivate that relationship. I mean, for me, that's what it's about. And when I read his word, and then especially reading like the Proverbs 31 woman, like she is a great example. And then when you break it down, it's like, okay, you keep on learning more and more and more. Like, I just learned something simple, like making up the bed. Like, she didn't just make up the bed, but she used to make the bedspread
mm,
out of very expensive material. So everything she did was, it was always with her hands. So she made the bedspread, and then she made the bed because she covered the bed up. And covered is like, to me, is a real powerful word when it comes just for us women. Like, we should be covered,
Yeah.
not just, showing everything. And plus, I've always had loyalty in my blood. I think I've always been a good person. I just, hold on 1 second, I gotta walk. Oh, there we go. I just didn't have the right person like you. So I had God, but I didn't have the right person like you through me, and also hold me accountable even when you do get on my nerves and I do catch that little bit of attitude. So ladies, yes, every now and then I still get a little attitude and I won't talk. I'm spoiled, I pout. But guess what? He'll get over it because he ain't going nowhere. He just has to deal with it sometimes. Because look, what
Yeah,
did
I'm
we
going
just say?
somewhere in the bathroom.
Look, what did I tell you the other day? Men are pause. Men cycle. And I know there's another men and something that we're going through, so it's really all y'all fault. So just take accountability, and I believe a lot of women will be just fine.
Hey, you know what, baby? So the other day, right? Uh, we had went over your mother house, and then, but before we went over your mother house, I was having a little issue with my mother, and I was kind of like
Mm-hmm.
feeling some type of way because I felt like, my mother. I mean, she birthed me, so she knew like my past and all the things that I've been through as a child, adolescent, young adulthood, and to where I'm at now, and all the things that I've overcame, and I never, had any type of ill will feelings towards my wife. I mean, my mother, even though she abandoned me, right?
Yeah.
And so the only thing that I was just wanting was like, hey man, just like, I mean, look at the man that I am today. I mean, I'm not perfect, but all the things that I've overcome and all the things that I've accomplished on my own, and to have impact in the community as a good man, have a reputable name. My name is in good standing. And when I came to you and I told you that I was running for Georgia State Senate as a
Mm-hmm.
state senator, it was like, like I said, she had hung up the phone, you know what I mean? So I was feeling some type of way. And I was like, you know what? I'm done talking. I walked away. I forgive. I kept, you know what I'm saying, baby, all the things that I've just let go and charged to the game. But that was like my breaking straw right there. That was like something that I ain't even want to deal with no more. And I had it in my mind, like, Lord, I'm done with this. Like,
I
I'm
feel you.
I try not to be disrespectful to my mother because the word of God teaches me to honor thy mother and father. And I think that I've done that. As long as you've been with me, only that one time where I just had enough. I just
Yeah.
had enough. Like, I just had enough. And then I felt bad because I let God down. Like, it wasn't really about my mother. It was really about God. Like, Lord, I let you down. I'm so sorry. Like, I was heartbroken that I even allowed this situation to even get me out my character to the point that I'm having uh, these aggressive conversations with my wife. I mean, with my mother. You know what I mean? But that was the only time that I had really like kind of felt bad. You know what I mean? That I had talked to my mother in that way. But all the years that you and I been together, I ain't never talked to her like that. But just that one particular time where I just wanted to talk to her and just let her know like, hey man, the stuff that y'all did to me, it hurt me. You feel what I'm saying? And when she just was nonchalant and she was just da 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 da, and then that's when I just snapped. And then so like I say, I forgive that. I asked for forgiveness, and I apologized to her, but I apologized to God for about a week. I was just in prayer, like, Lord, please forgive me. I'm just so sorry. Like, and I think that that's one of the things about me that I don't like to do. I don't like to let God down. So
Fact.
it's not really about the person, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It's about
God.
him, letting him down. And so when I had told my mother that, I was running for Georgia State Senate, and then, I was talking about putting a sign in her yard, and she was like, "You ain't blah 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 blah," and then click. I was like, man. So I was like, so I was at that point. I was done. I was through in the city with it. I was like, man, I ain't dealing with this no more. So then, out of the blue, she called me because I ain't haven't talked to her like maybe in about 2 months, 2, 3 months. I was like, man, nah, I say about maybe a month and a half,
Yeah,
but
it wasn't that long.
nah, it wasn't long. I say about a month and a half, and then she called me. She just wanted to, wish me, a happy new year because I didn't call on Thanksgiving or Christmas or none of that. Like
Uh-huh.
I was just through. But so when she called me, I was like, first I was hesitant to pick up the phone, but then
Hmm.
the Holy Spirit said, "Hey man, you need to go ahead and pick up that phone, man." So I picked up the phone and I just listened. I ain't really do too much talking. She was just talking to me, telling me blase, blase, this, that, and the third, woo, woo, woo. And then
Hmm.
the last thing that she said was, she said, "I love you." And when she said that, I was cool from that point on. Like if I don't ever talk to my mother ever again, I was cool with that. And so like when you had went over, and then after that, we went over to your mother's house, and then what I'm saying, telling people what how that experience went.
Um, it was healing, but I believe for all of us, for me, my mom, and my dad, because I hadn't really stayed there that long, and one of the reasons is personal. We just wasn't seeing eye to eye. And the other reason was because we were so busy all the time and I was just not getting any sleep. So if we were over on that side, we'll stop by. Yeah, it was just healing. My mom told me she was proud of me, that I'm welcome here anytime. Let's do this again. And my dad, he told me the same thing. So I think 2024 is healing and reconciliation, if I'm saying that in the,
Reconciliation.
I said that. I did say that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did, I said
I
it.
was just repeating.
Oh,
I was
okay.
just
And I think with certain people. I don't think with everybody. I just think with certain people. So we're good. Well, actually, we're great. But you know what I do want to talk about though? There's a few things. Okay, so I want to talk about, well, we are going to talk about what we did yesterday, and then we're going to talk about a little bit about what you got going on. But I told you that I wanted to bring up this transgender in boxing. And I'm
okay.
not going to say, you don't have to hold your breath.
No, I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm cool.
I don't agree with it. I don't, because I get one thing. Okay, if you now the female boxers do spar with the male boxers. That's one thing. But to actually get in the ring, it doesn't even matter if it's for 2 rounds, 1 round. I'm just naming rounds, 4, 12, 100. That's unacceptable right there. And the reason why, and let me just make this clear, because I don't want anybody to be all emotional because I said that I don't agree with it. I want you all to make sure that you listen to the words that I'm saying, because what happens is when you say things that people don't like, they get emotional and then they close their ear. And then it's like they're just poking and they're just trying to listen to anything negative that you have to say. What I'm saying is not negative. This is my opinion. And I should not, nor should anybody be penalized or targeted because we have our own opinion. You might like to eat an onion, and I might not like to eat an onion. No, that's not an opinion. No, I'm sorry. You might like to eat an onion, and I'll be like, just thinking about something and just tell you whatever it is that I want to tell you. That's my opinion. So don't pick and choose. If you choose to be a transgender, that's on you. I ain't got nothing to do with it. That's between you and God. Hey. But if you are one sex, if you're a man, regardless if you've gotten the sex change or not, you're still a man. That's number one. Number two, if you didn't get a sex change and you say, oh, look, I'm all woman, you're not a woman, you're still a man. And men are stronger than the majority of women. So what makes them make a decision to have them in the ring with natural born females? That's ridiculous to me. But yet they kept on making excuses about why women can't do 12 rounds, where Amanda Serrano had given up one of her belts because they won't let her do 12 rounds because y'all want to say, oh, women get periods. And all the bloating when they have to weigh in. And y'all making all these excuses for women not to do this and to do that, which is so much more simpler than having somebody who's transgender to come in and fight a man. Y'all are really backwards. So they won't let women do 12 rounds. They won't let women do 12 rounds, but you'll let a transgender come in the ring and fight a woman? Who's making these decisions anyway? Couldn't be me.
Yeah, you're right, Sheila. This is your opinion, and I think everyone has an opinion about certain things that goes on in our community. For us, the sport of boxing is the space where we have a passion about boxing, and we love the
Oops,
sport.
sorry about that. I need to keep it moving. Hold on a second. Keep on talking. I might have to walk around. Go ahead.
Yeah, so everyone has an opinion, and they should be entitled to express their opinion without being attacked. And there are things that goes on in every community that a lot of people just do not like. Some agree with it, and some people don't agree with it. Do I believe that a transgender should be allowed to participate in sports where it's predominantly women? No, I don't agree with that. Do I agree with a man who says that he's a transgender be able to go into the female restroom where little girls are at and stuff like that?
No.
I don't think that's appropriate. Uh, I will say this here. So one time I was using the restroom at Quick Trip over there in Quick Trip. So, I was, you remember the story. So anyway, I was sitting down.
Yeah, that's why I'm laughing.
I was sitting down, and I was doing the number two. So, and
wait a minute. Hold
my bad.
up.
My
Hold
my
up.
my,
Hold
my
up.
bad.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, baby. I mean, like the Stafford Show is.
Really
I mean, we
tripping
just
right
real.
now. Wait a minute. What would
Wait,
I be thinking if I'm watching this podcast
hey,
and
hey, look.
I'll be like, what the heck is going on?
Hey, look, they say Stafford a real one, no cappuccino. Stafford a real one, no Captain Crunch. I'm
Oh
telling you.
my gosh.
But anyway,
Okay, go ahead. Please continue.
I was
Oh
sitting
boy.
down, and you know how like you sit down and you just see next person in the stall feet and all that. So I was like, man, that can't be what I think. You know
Oh,
what I'm
wait a
saying?
minute. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Did you put a toilet seat liner on there first before you sat down?
Man, baby, don't play me like that. I don't sit on there butt naked. Come on now. Come on now. Matter of fact, yeah. So what I do, I put the liner on it and I put the tissue on there too, for real. I got to have it double, cap. But so I was sitting down and I was like, dog, man, like, man, that looked like a female feet, but I didn't even, I was, whatever. So then, like, the way how the person, so the person was standing up, and how that person was standing up and they were urinating. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, what? I, I was like, man, like, it just threw me for a loop. I was like, cuz, hold up. So I was like, man, this is a girl next to me, like in the men's restroom. And man, so I hurry up, finished what I was doing, came out. And so I deliberately kind of waited on the person to come out the stall. So I was like, Shawty, come on now. I mean, the way I was looking at it was like, what if one of these men's, try to try you like that, or try to, a sexual assault went down because he may have saw something that may have aroused him, and he felt like,
Ew. In
because
the
you in the
bathroom
rest.
peeing?
Hey, Sheila,
Ooh.
listen,
I already know.
it's a
I
wicked,
know.
it's
You
a,
got some, I know that.
hey, come
But
on
I'm
now.
just, ooh.
Hey, listen. And so like
I'm
so then
peeing and you're
I
sexually
was like,
aroused.
I don't know. I was just blown away by it. And I was like, man, but like I said, I don't have anything against the alphabet community. I don't have anything against someone who's gay, lesbian, homosexual, transgender, none of that. But I just believe that there should be boundaries on certain things. Like, you know what I mean?
Facts.
Like, so I believe that now standing up and saying that you are a heterosexual is like something that goes against the grain. Like, no one
Yeah.
promotes being heterosexual. Like, I'm a heterosexual. I'm married to a woman. Would I be open to I mean, we just don't have nothing in common. I don't have nothing against them. It just that's not what I get down with. Like, I respect them, and I hope that they will respect me, even though I am a heterosexual. I just don't have nothing, in common, and I just don't believe that. Just my opinion. You know what I mean? It's just my Christian values, right? And I'm not gonna throw up scriptures and all that other type stuff, but for what the Word of God teaches me, I believe in a man and a woman. That's just me. But however, someone else may not think that way, and we live in a different world now. What's wrong is right, and what's
What?
right is wrong. But do I believe that a man who's a transgender should be able to participate in the sport of boxing with
Mm-mm.
females? Nah, because I'm like,
No.
if you're a man, you should box another man in your weight class. You know what I mean?
Facts.
I think that it's already hard enough for the female boxers to be able to build that brand and get people to support it. And when you incorporate, these other type of, parts, it bring it to me, it devalue the sport of boxing from the women perspective. So now the sport of boxing from the female perspective, you know, I think in the past 5 years just really started to get a buzz. So you
Yeah.
got so now you got Clarissa Shields, you got Serrano, you got a whole bunch of other female fighters that are box office that people,
Amanda.
yeah, that
Amanda.
people will want to come and see and pay to see. And so, like, I just don't think it's fair, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying, I'm not the person that's making these decisions. But
Shame on you.
I don't agree with
Shame,
it.
shame,
But
shame.
but like I say, my disclaimer is that I don't have anything against nobody. It's just my opinion, and I think that we should have an opportunity to share our opinion about what we believe is right and what's wrong, without people trying to attack one another. That's just me. That's just my take on it.
And I just think that everybody should know, no matter what it is that you do, whether if it's right or wrong, everybody's going to have an opinion about it. Especially, I mean, people should already know, if a man likes to put on women's clothes, you don't think people are either going to talk about you, agree with you, love it, hate it, or whatever. So at the end of the day, it is what it is, and I'm not trying to hear none of that. But on to the next one.
So
Is the Stafford box what?
I know. I was going to say the Stafford Boxing Club mentoring program. So I was going to talk about
Facts.
yesterday. So
Go
yesterday,
for it.
so yesterday we hosted an event for the Stafford Boxing Club mentoring program,
Let me stand up.
and the purpose of the program was to, well, the purpose of the event was to re-engage with our kids in our program and to get them focused after the holidays. So you had Halloween, Thanksgiving, and
Huh.
then
Oh.
Christmas. And so I just feel like with them coming back to school from the holidays, it was important for me to get their attention and to get them refocused back on track on what's the big picture. The big picture is, number one, you got to have respect for yourself. That's number one. Number two, you got to have that confidence. Number three, you got to be respectful to your parents, because I talk to the kids' parents and I ask them how are they doing. So when I come around them kids, and if they, been attitude problem, not doing their chores, not listening, I tighten them up. I give them a clean fade. I give them a lineup. You feel what I'm saying? I don't play about kids being disrespectful or having an attitude, when most of the kids' parents that's in our program have these manual, hard jobs that stand up all the time, working all these hours to put a roof over their head, to get them some of the things that they want, but most importantly, provide the things that they need. I do not tolerate, nor Sheila tolerate, any type of disrespect or ungratefulness, because as you get older, you'll see in life that people don't owe you anything. And so it's very important for me to instill that into these kids. And so we had our event at the Golden Glide skating rink. And shout out to Golden Glide. They done,
I
I
know,
mean,
right?
yeah, man, like, yo, man, yo, for real, Golden Glide, we would definitely go back there and have another event, because they roll out the red carpet for the Stafford Boxing Club mentoring program. The DJ shouted us out a couple of times. You know what I mean? It was crazy, and they allow us to take, pictures. We had our own photographer. We had our sign. Man, it was just it was a great experience, and I haven't skated since I was like maybe like 15, so that been about like 40. I say about 40 years. Yeah. Now let me see, almost 40 years. I say about 30, about 35 years is the last time I ever put a pair of roller skates on my feet. And you know what, Sheila, I ain't gonna lie. When me and you was roller skating around the ring, and I was holding your hands, and we were
Mm-hmm.
just going around and around,
Mm-hmm.
it made me feel.
Like a high school crush to
Yeah,
you?
yeah. Exactly. That's exactly how it made me feel. It was like boyfriend and girlfriend type vibe. You feel what I'm saying? Like we were just, I mean, and we were the only couple that was doing what we were doing in the skating rink. So it was kind of like, and we wasn't doing it to like, get attention. It was just like, it was really like, it was like me really expressing my love to you. Like, man, let me hold my wife hands and both of us skate around the ring. Now I ain't gonna tell him how you just.
Oh, I was going to say that because it's your fault anyway.
How's it my fault?
At I'm going to tell you why. And the lady agreed with me. Okay, so I had gone around so many times, I can't even count. I had not fallen not one time. Not one time. So my husband's sitting over on the other side, so he wants me to stop. Somehow I ended up turning around, bloop,
Nah,
Still, because you had your hand out.
She came,
Stop it.
listen, she turned around, she went down,
Stop
and then as you
it.
know, she came around, and then she was skating, and then she turned around like she knew what she was doing, and she had the
That was by
stoppers,
accident.
she had the stoppers on her feet. Next thing you
I
know,
totally
bam!
forgot
I
about
was
them
like, oh
stoppers.
my God. So
I think I had got whiplash and a concussion all in one.
man, I
I'm
looked at my
still
baby,
feeling it now.
she laid out like
I
a
was.
dot, like a sheet of paper on the ground, boy, for real. Nah, baby, but
Stop playing with me.
Nah, baby, but I ain't gonna lie, Sheila, though. But when I was watching you go around, like how you was skating by yourself, and you were just, I just saw that little girl in you, and I was like, man, my wife is really having a nice time, man. And
Yeah,
it
because I
was,
used to skate all the time
yeah,
in New
it was,
York.
yeah, it was just real. I don't know. I was just happy to see you enjoy yourself, and like I say, I had saw in the spirit you, um like a little teenage girl just actually, doing like little girl things. So it was, that was the pleasure that I got out of it, just watching you but most importantly, just watching the kids, how they was having fun and
Hmm.
they, so we
They
really,
needed it.
yeah, they needed it. But also at the same time, I stand on business. And what I mean by that is I told them that they had to give me a 2-page book report on Black
Hmm.
history, and no disrespect, no Reverend Martin Luther King
I'm
Jr.
just moving so
God
the
bless
light
his
doesn't come
soul.
off.
And so no famous, I mean no uh Black person that we talk about in Black history. You had to find someone who contributed to society as an African American that had an impact and use their story to how it will shape you as you move forward in your life. And then they got to read a book too. So,
Hmm.
so that was one of the things. And also, I wanted to let them know about being mentally and get ready to take the Georgia milestone, because one of the things about our program, which I am proud of, is that it helps kids to become confident and have that type of high self-esteem to take the Georgia
Hmm.
milestone and believe that they will score high on this Georgia milestone test. Because you know what, Sheila, I realized that
Yep.
when kids don't have that self-esteem taking these standardized tests, that it can be
Yeah.
somewhat overwhelming and intimidating.
Yeah.
And it's not that they may not know the material, but the fact that they are intimidated by the test taking, that they perform lower than what they would have had they had that type of self-esteem and confidence and going into Georgia milestone. So that's one of the things that I am gifted at is speaking life and encouraging and empowering our kids to believe that they can be great, and they are champions. And that's our slogan: Stafford Boxing, the making of champions. So
Making of
it was
champions.
an amazing event, and I'm looking forward to the pictures by Calvin.
Oh
And man,
yeah.
Calvin, man, and the crazy thing is, you remember when we met Eric at Panera Bread?
Yeah.
I didn't even recognize that was Calvin that had took the picture of us when we got our award from Congressman Hank Johnson, the 2023 Unsung Hero Award. So I didn't
Wait a
even,
minute. Hold on. You didn't know the guy? Okay, the gentleman who was taking our pictures.
yesterday.
You said you did not know that was him
Yeah, when he
that
had
took our
came to,
picture.
yeah, when we was at Panera Bread. You remember when we had the meeting with Eric Hubbard at the Panera Bread?
Yeah.
I saw him.
Oh, okay. I didn't see him.
Yeah. And so I didn't recognize him. The reason why I had
Oh, okay.
recognized him was because he had a Atlanta
Of the boot.
Falcon. Nah, he had a
Oh,
Atlanta Falcon seat cover on his car seat on the driver's side, and I had recognized it from.
gotcha.
And I said, man, I remember because I had talked to him. I had opened the door up for
Okay.
him and everything. And I
Oh,
had totally, I didn't, that day I didn't really pay attention to a lot. So, But yeah, he said, yeah, I remember
Gotcha.
you from Panera Bread. Hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it was a great event though. It really was. I really want to do that again. I think
I
you and
was
I
tired. I want to go ice skating, but I wouldn't take the kids ice skating because that's just a little bit too much.
too much.
But I want to go ice skating because I used to ice skate too.
Yeah, and you know what, Sheila? Speaking of that, I want to thank God for the opportunity to talk to Melissa today, and it cleared the air on a lot of things, that happened in the past, and I never had an opportunity to give my side of the story. And today,
Yeah,
speaking with her, you know what I mean. And so I can kind of see her looking at me totally different, which
different.
yeah, which leads me into my political campaign for Georgia State Senate District 43 as a state senator for the state of Georgia. And one of the things that I really am passionate about is education. And I believe that, not having the proper representation. So the letter R in Republican stands for representation. So I believe that I represent Black African American representation as a Republican on that side to get policies passed that will bring about more resources to the schools in this district. And oftentimes, a lot of state senators and legislators will try to get things passed, but because of their political affiliation, they may not be able to get things done. But I like my chances of getting policies passed because it's about relationships. And with the relationships that I have with a lot of the Georgia state senators at the Capitol, I think that it puts me in a very good, strong positions to bring about those policies to the table, to have conversations and to negotiate because the job description for a senator is to manage the state budget. And so I believe that I can get policies passed that may not normally be the type of policies that will get passed by a Democrat. And so I believe that there needs to be a change. I don't have anything against Senator Anderson. I think she's done, a, you know, I have respect for her work and what she has done for the community. But she's been in this position for 7 years. This make her seventh year. And the word of God says that God worked 6 days, but he rested in the seventh day. And I think that she has taken this district as far as she can take it now, passing the baton to someone like me with a different vision and a different type of mindset to take the district to the next level. And when I get elected, I don't plan to be in this seat for a long time, maybe 2 terms at the most. But my responsibility as a leader is to prepare this seat for the next person to come behind me. But what I want to do is leave an impact in the community. It's not about name recognition. I don't, I mean, I'm not into that. I'm really into serving the people. I am a servant leader, and getting elected to the Georgia State Capitol puts me in a position to be a public servant. And that's what I want to be. I want to be a public servant for the community, particularly the Black community. And I really like my chances on winning, Sheila. And the reason why I say that is like more than ever before, the Black community is open to voting for someone like myself who is a Republican, to be a change. Um, I know that traditionally this district votes Democrat, but I believe what I stand for and the things that I can do for this district. I think that a lot of people who may be independent and those Democrat who have conservative ways will agree with a lot of things that I stand for. And I think that they will just, want to, see some change. So I'm just looking forward to the opportunity. I want to say thank you so much to Eric for putting together my website, man. It's coming together. It looks so good. Baby, did you like how Eric did that, though?
Yeah, it's different. It's set
Man,
apart from others that have been running for office. So that's his gift and that is his talent, and he's putting a lot of work into it. And
man, for
he
real.
he is that dude that's very
Hey,
talented with
he's
all
talented.
technical stuff.
For real.
All
So,
technical stuff, all technical issues. That's Eric right there, the E-Man. That's who you call the
yeah,
E-Man,
for
Superman
real. And,
E-Man.
and and you know what's crazy though? Like, so I think I had told you to watch Talking Fight on LinkedIn, and
Yeah, with
you got a
Cedric,
and
with
Mike, right?
Cedric and Mike.
Yes. And then
And it was
so
like we were
Graham
just family. Like they ain't
off
even off the rip. And I would
off
I
the
would even
muscle.
watch it. I would even watch it when we were working out. And then Cedric will ask some questions, and then I would just try my hardest to be the first one to put it in the comments, and I would always say something. And the things that I like, that I really love about those two, is because not only were they engaging with themselves, and because they have that knowledge and that wisdom with the sport of boxing and so many other things, but how they made me feel comfortable. Like they automatically made me feel like family. And they were
Mm,
always so positive. They always gave me a shout out every time I got on there. And I mean, I know that's normally what people are supposed to do, but when they did it, it was more authentic when
I
they
agree.
did it. And I
I agree.
really, really appreciate the both of them. And they have their show, I believe. I'm sorry, no disrespect to Mike and Cedric. I've been so busy. I have not been able to do anything but to do what I have to do. But everybody make sure that you all check them out because they are the truth.
For real. Well, baby, it's about that time. It was a
For real,
great
for
time
real.
on the Stafford Show.
Yeah,
I
before the light
always
goes back out. I'm over here. I got my water bottle in my hand, moving my hand so the light doesn't go back out. But yeah, it's
well
about
look,
that time.
baby, is there anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No, I actually enjoyed it. I mean, I know I was moving a lot. I guess because I feel good and I was comfortable, and this is God that allowed us to be able to do it today because of whatever. And I actually feel good.
For real, for real. Well, with that
It'll
being
be better
said,
next time. So you know
oh
what it
man, it was
is.
great this time. It was great.
It
I enjoyed it.
was
But check this out, Stafford Boxing.
the making of champions.